Hey kids, so this is the second video to show you how to audition for the snare drum. If you have not watched the first video and mastered everything in it, you need to stop this and go back to the first video. Real quick review, make sure that you have Vic Firth SD1 drumsticks. If you show up with different drumsticks, your audition will be rejected. Make sure that you are holding the sticks correctly. Pinch, right, thumb, finger, all 5 fingerprints on both sticks. Your elbows are, I have a fuzz. Your elbows are over your hips, not reaching forward, not back here. Elbows are over your hips. Your hands are turned so you can see your knuckles, like this, not like this, here. And the drum height is set to a few inches below your belly button so that your sticks naturally are about 2 or 3 inches off the drum head, like this. Okay, and that everything I just said is what's in the first video. So if you don't understand that, go watch the first video and master that material. Number 1, sticking. Notice the R and L underneath each quarter note. So right and left. You need to have control over this as a snare drummer. The note at the top says, or the text at the top says, set the metronome to at least 80. Now, you can do this on your Chromebook. You can just Google the word metronome, and is that going to show you? There you go. That's what comes up. Google has a metronome built into it. And if you hit play, it gives you the beat. It's not real loud. You might want to use earbuds or headphones or something. It says to go 80. This is 100. I'm going to lower it to 80, but if you want to practice even slower, that's good, right? First thing you should do when you're learning something is slow it down. But I'm going to do this at 80, which is the minimum you need to do for auditioning. So, number 1, right, left, right, left. My suggestion for practicing this is say it out loud first, before you even deal with the sticks and the drum. Take your finger, and just like reading, and when you learn how to read in kindergarten, you follow each note with your finger and go RL like this. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, left. Do that out loud. Don't just think it. Do it out loud until that's easy. See how fast you can do it. You want to be able to read that kind of thing pretty quickly, okay? You're not going to get this in one day. You should be practicing this every day for like a week before you even try to audition, okay? Because you need to sleep on it for that muscle memory to really sink in, right? Okay, so the first line, pretty easy to understand. You're just doing straight quarter notes. Here's my metronome. You might not be able to hear the metronome too well in the video, but you know what to do. Check my grip, check my elbows. Here we go. 1, 2, number 1, go. You don't need to say the rights and lefts out loud while you're playing for your audition. I just did that to help you with the video here. Remember, it's all wrist. Only wrist moves. Your elbow and your shoulder don't move, okay? And I'm just going to tell you, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm trying to get you to learn how to do it right, okay? If you come in here and this is how you play the snare drum, you're not going to pass the audition. If your elbows move, you're not doing it right, okay? Eighth notes, number 2. Depending on when you're watching this video, maybe we've gotten to eighth notes, maybe we haven't in class. But so basically, eighth notes are the ones with the stick connecting them, right? They've got a little bar connecting the 2 notes. And that means that there's 2 notes for every beat. So if this is the beat, if this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth notes mean that there's 2 notes for every click. So dot, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and dot, 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 dot. So I would learn one measure at a time here, and that's how I'm going to do this in the video to help you learn. So the first measure would be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Or quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, eighth. I'm going to slow that down. I'm going to slow this down to 60 just for learning the stuff here. You need to perform it at 80, but we can slow it down for right now. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. This is measure 1. Quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, eighth. So measure 1 would be like this. Ready, go. Okay. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay. Measure 2. Now I'm moving quickly here so this video isn't 2 hours long. You need to stop and work on measure 1, master it before you even bother with measure 2. Okay? Work on each measure at a time. Stop the video. Okay? Measure 2. Quarter, quarter rest, eighth, 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 eighth. So, where's my metronome? Wake up. Quarter, rest, eighth, 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 eighth. Okay? Quarter, rest, eighth, 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 eighth. And say that out loud, just like I just did. Ready? Say it. Quarter, rest, eighth, 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 eighth. So, we got 1, 2, measure 2, go. Okay? Quarter, rest, eighth, 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 eighth. All right. Now, look at measure 1 and 2. Look at measure 3 and 4. Hey, they're the same. Okay, so you know how to do that. Let's look at measure 5. Now again, don't go on until you've mastered the first 4 measures, please, okay? Just try to learn one thing at a time. But I'm going to assume that you've stopped the video and you've done that. So here's measure 5. And measure 5 and measure 6 are the same, aren't they? Look at measure 5. Look at the next measure. They're the same. Well, that makes it easy. How do we count that? Eighth, 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 quarter, rest. Eighth, 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 quarter, rest. Say that. Ready? Go. Eighth, 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 quarter, rest. So 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Easy. Okay. So work on each measure one at a time using the video. You know, pause, go back, do it again if you need help. Say it out loud. Say quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, eighth. Say these things out loud. I'm going to put this back up to 80 and play the whole thing so you know how you should perform it for your audition. See how I'm waving my sticks to feel the beat before I play? And you can even go dot, 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 say dot, 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 dot. This sounds silly, but it works. Here we go. Number 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. So you need to master number 2 before you try number 3 because, as you can see, number 3 uses eighth notes. So master eighth notes before you try to deal with number 3. Okay, accents. The notes with the little triangle thing on top, that's an accent. All that means is you're going to raise your stick height before you play that note. Now I know in the first video I told you not to do that, right? Well, you don't unless it's an accent, right? Then we raise the stick height for that note so that it makes a bigger sound. Don't think of it like you're hitting the drum harder, because it's not really it, okay? So number 3 would be like this. Okay? So I do the accent, look at me, I raise the stick and drop it and bring it back to regular. Bring it back to the regular starting position. High, low. High, low. Practice that with both hands. High, low. High, low. Other hand. High, low. High, low. I'm not bending my elbow. Okay? I'm not doing this. No. Wrist. It's only wrist. Your elbows are locked. Okay, so that's an accent. And then it's just a matter of knowing how to count the eighth notes and stuff, which you know how to do because you mastered number 2 before you even tried number 3, right? So measure 3 would be accent, quarter, 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 accent, quarter, 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 accent, eighth, 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 quarter, quarter, accent, eighth, 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 quarter, quarter, accent, eighth, 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 accent, eighth, 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 accent, eighth, 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 quarter, accent. So I'm going to go through that without me talking this time. And again, practice one measure at a time. Okay, don't try to play the whole thing. Go one measure at a time while you're practicing. And go slow. Here we go. Number 3. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Buzzing, number 4. This is where you're going to make the stick bounce 2 or 3 times on each hit. So the little slashy lines, that's what that means. You do this with your elbows, and your wrist doesn't move. Okay, so it's the opposite of a normal hit. With everything else on the snare drum, it's just wrist. With buzzing, it's just elbows. Your wrist doesn't move. Okay? So we go. A great way to practice this is to do both sticks at once, like this. So basically you have to kind of loosen your grip, but don't let your fingers drop off the stick, okay? Don't want to do this. We still want to support the stick. And don't do a big motion. Don't do this, right? That's obviously not it, right? Small motion. And look at your sticks. Are both sticks bouncing the same amount? Probably when you first start, if you're right-handed, your right stick is going to be better than your left hand. It's going to bounce more times or whatever because that's your stronger hand. You want to get to where both sticks are bouncing the same. Elbows only. You might want to get off the drum and just do this. Feel your elbows. Try to do this. Move your elbows without moving your wrist. That seems like, well, yeah, duh, Dixon. Well, you'd be surprised how many people do this. That's not it. It's just elbows. It's hard to only move one joint in your arm. You're not used to that. Where else in life would you ever do this, right? Your body is not used to only moving its elbows. not shoulder, right? We don't do this. No, elbows. This doesn't move. Okay? Okay, so practice that. Like just move your elbows. Okay, so number 4. Again, get to where, like, if you can't do both sticks together, if you can't do that, don't even try number 4. Okay? The next thing you do, once you can do this pretty well, try right, left, right, left. You want each stick to bounce like 2 or 3 times. Okay? So number 4, when we put it all together, would be like this. And again, slow down, practice each measure one at a time, then try to put it all together. So here we go. Number 4, here's how you actually play it. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, the tricky thing about this is going from buzzing, which is elbows, to hits, which are just wrist. So you have to get good at going elbows, wrist, elbows, wrist. And I would do exactly that, okay? Just get off the drum, do exactly what I'm doing right now. Elbows, only elbows. Don't let your wrist move. We're not doing this. Elbows, wrist. Elbows don't move. Elbows, wrist. Only elbows, wrist is locked. Only wrist, elbows are locked. Back and forth, elbows, wrist, elbows, wrist. Get used to that, because that's the tricky part, right? Okay, last thing, number 5, this is putting it all together. Everything you just did. It's a little bit of everything. Again, slow down, do one measure at a time, make sure that you're only using your wrist on the regular hits, make sure on the buzz rolls you're only using your elbow. Here's what it would sound like. Here's number 5. And accents are wrist only. Okay? Everything is wrist except the buzz rolls. Here we go. Here's number 5. 1, 2, oh, by the way, before I start, I say dut, dut, dut. I listen to the metronome and say dut, 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 dut. You can even dut eighth notes. Dut, 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 dut. Excuse you. Dut, 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 dut. I'm moving my sticks, right? Dut, 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 dut. Here we go. 1, 2, number 5, and rest. All right. There we go. And yeah, for the accents, one last thing. For the accent, don't slap at the drum, okay? We don't want to like slap it or pop it. It's not like, nobody wants that, okay? Like it doesn't sound like music. It just like sounds like a gun, honestly. It's not good. Okay, cool. You're not going to get this in a day. This is a lot, but this is all the things you need to do to play the snare drum. If you want to do this, this is what you have to be able to do. This is what the music looks like. So that's why we're doing this. Go one measure at a time. Practice every day. It's going to take a couple of weeks of practice every day to get this. And I recommend practicing with this video so that you're sure that you're doing everything correctly. Check your grip. All right, check your grip, check your knuckles, check where your arms are. Don't reach for it. Don't pull behind. All the things that we talked about at the beginning of the video. Make sure you're doing them all. Okay? And if you need help, come ask me. That's what they pay me the big bucks for. Okay? Come ask for help. I'm happy to tell you what you can work on to get better. Okay? All right, guys. Have fun.